Hi guys, this is Jdmdriftz. This is the first installment of my drift build series. I thought I'd start this off with something very classic and true that a lot of people know of course, from Initial D and Driftworks and again. I mean, a lot of people love using this car. Me personally, I'm currently looking for one, which is very hard. But today, I'm going to show you two different ways you can make a good drift build on this car. Now, mind you, this car comes with, let me see, 128 horsepower stock. It's got the 4AGE motor in it. You know, pretty good platform to start with. So we're going to start with the starter pack, or my version of the starter pack. You know, feel free to leave comments in the box below. But today we're going to go ahead and start with this drift build. Okay, let's see. We'll go ahead and give it this color for now, at least. Now, a lot of people say that wheel spin and how light it is and what gear ratio. Of course, that's what it is, but knowing the right build for what you're building is helpful, and that's the purpose of these videos, is so that way I could show you that in Forza Horizon 2 there are ways to do many things with these vehicles. This is a very versatile game. It's always been really fun to me. I love this game. And let's get down to it. So we're going to go ahead and go to the garage.
Hey man, where you been keeping yourself?
I've been keeping myself here. We're going to go ahead and start with the build. Okay. Let me catch my words here. The basic starter pack on this car, if you're just learning how to drift in this game, and you know, a lot of people have watched videos and seen how fun it is and like, ooh, I want to drift, I want to do that. This right here is a good starter car for that. And so I'm going to do the first stage, so that way, you know, you guys have something to build on. It's not too powerful, it's not going to get away from you too much. You can learn the, here, let me turn this down a little bit so y'all can hear me better. I'm not having to scream and yell up close. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, this is going to be the basic starter package that I'm going to present today. In each drift build, I will do a starter package on each vehicle. There's going to be a stage 1, which is the starter package, and stage 2, which is the pro package. That's just how I, you know, differentiate from it. And so yeah, here we go. Really, I mean, unless if you like the cosmetics on the vehicle, this really doesn't matter a whole bunch. I mean, a little bit, but no, like I'll put that on there. But that's about it. Okay, now, tire compound. This is very important. But the thing about it is that we're not going to mess with this yet until we get the horsepower dialed in. We're going to go ahead and keep the original 4AGE motor for the starter pack. So really, what we're going to want to do is we're going to change the exhaust to race exhaust and race cams. We're going to try and see if we can get it up to the right horsepower level. Let's see. Race valves, race block, race compression and pistons, race oil and cooling. We're pretty much going to squeeze as much horsepower out of this car, this little engine, as possible. Because what you're going to want is you're going to want the right wheel spin, but at the same time you're going to still want to keep that control while you're sliding. I mean, that's just, I found this out a long time ago, and you know, ever since I started playing this game, I've realized that it's okay, let me rephrase that. It's different. The drift physics in this game is just a little different from Forza Horizon 1. And like I said, it's not a bad thing, you know. I'm just pointing out that, you know, this game is a tad different. Okay, we're going to want the street flywheel, so that way we can get the revs up as good as possible. Then we're going to go to conversion, and we're going to do the aspiration conversion. Now, you can use the root supercharger, or you can use the single turbo. Personally, in this predicament, we're probably going to need that single turbo. So we're going to get the single turbo, and then we're going to go back to engine, and then we're going to go to the single turbo again. And see, we cannot go past 450 horsepower. Obviously, at the race turbo, we got 385. That's doing good. And then race intercooler, and that's it. So right now we are making 401 horsepower, which is plenty of horsepower for what we need it for. We're not trying to race it, we're trying to drift it. Oops. Sorry guys, I just backed out of it. Anyway, now with 401 horsepower, it's obviously not going to do very well with stock tires. I mean, like I said, this is a starter pack vehicle, you know, for drift. So with 401 horsepower, I would say use the street tires, the street tire compound. Okay. So now that I've got that, now this is another very important thing to know. The width of your tires. If your tires are too wide in the front of your car, it's going to make it a lot harder for it to turn. Yes, it will have grip, but you really don't want it too wide. So, I mean, personally, I'll go with number 2. This one right here. See? We'll go with number 2. We'll try number 2. Usually I use number 1. But right now we're going to try number 2 and we'll come back to it. Now, I use the full rear tire width for the rear tires because it gives great grip, and you can get the tires to spin off a lot easier, and it's all about control, guys. All about control. Of course, we got that. It really doesn't matter what type of rims you have. Me personally, if you're going to use you know, tuner rims or whatever, like me, I use like I've always liked these. These are really cool. But in this build, we're trying to show you guys what y'all can do with y'all's own cars. And like I said, this is just a tutorial on what you can do. Here in a minute, we're going to test it, and I'm going to show you the starter package. And then after that, we're going to do the Pro package. And so, yeah. We'll just go ahead and get those. It doesn't matter right now. You can choose really any rim that you want. Me, I like to use the 17-inch wheels. For these type of wheels, it just grips the road better. 17-inch front and back. And alright, so if y'all want to see this setup real quick, I'm going to show it to you one more time. This is the starter pack for the ae86 Terrain GT Apex. And this is the formula. Street tire compound, stage 2 width on the upgraded front tire, the last stage for the rear tire, 17 inches on the rims on each, sorry, I'm a little tongue tied for some reason today. 17 inches on front and back. Then we're going to upgrade every single thing, all this, except for the flywheel. The flywheel will be street. But like I said, the rest of the engine needs to be completely race. And then, of course, you go to aspiration and the single turbo, and you upgrade the turbo all the way. You should, at the end of your build on this, have 401 horsepower. This also is very important, okay? I use the race clutch. I use the race transmission. I use the race drive line, and I do. This is a little controversial with some people, but me personally, I like to use the race diff. So you try the race differential. Okay, now this is another very important thing. Now we're gonna have race brakes. Of course, we need to be able to stop the car when we need to. I'm gonna completely drop the car low all the way. Race anti-roll bars for the front and back. Then we're gonna do the third stage sport reinforcement, not the last stage. We don't want it too light, but we also don't want it too heavy. So sport reinforcement. All right, and then the weight reduction. We're gonna also do the sport weight reduction also. So okay, that's everything you need to do for your starter pack on your ae86 drift car. So alright, now we're going to go out on the street and do a little bit of a drift test and see what happens. Okay. Now guys, this is just my version. This is what's worked for me. Feel free to let me in on anything that you would want to see me do. Especially, you know, with the Driftworks and with everything. This is a new channel that I'm making, and I can use any and everybody's advice. Honestly, I'm open to a lot of things. I'm open to just about anything, just about. So, okay. Right now, we're going to go ahead and test our starter pack ae86. Now, this is a cool little car, man. I really like this car. I did, the other night, I did a drift, just a goofy drift video of me in my 8.6, and my cameraman is my roommate. He was passing out as he was making the video. So right now we're gonna go ahead and take this thing out for a spin. Ooh, very responsive car. You see, you want that little bit extra weight, not a whole bunch. You want to take most of it off, but it's good for the swing. See how you can still get it to slide sideways, but you still have enough control. Yeah, this thing's amazing. For a good drift, for a good starter drift pack, this thing really does well. This is what I started with in this game. Just nothing but net all the way. Oh, I'm getting in the grass. And see, guys, you know, a lot of people try to just, you know, oh, use the e-brake a bunch. Well, really, they're sort of right and sort of wrong. It's all about alternating both brakes. Oops, shit, I was hard into the paint on that shit. It's really about the balance. It's the balance between gas and brake, throttle response around the corner, wheel spin. I mean, if you can get that down in this game, I mean, this is one good way to do it, is to build you a good starter car. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I get a little bit of fancy free. Who's this guy named Funk? Whose last name is Funk? Really? Funky Town, Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. There it goes. Okay, okay. Also, this horsepower, the 401 horsepower that you put in this little car will help you get up the mountains when you're doing uphill drift, which is something I still work on, but I've gotten a lot better.